Hello everyone, I am Trombone, and today I'm going to introduce you to Gwent, the Witcher card game, open beta. Now let me set the scene. Remember the cherished card games from your past like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh? Did you grow to be near 22 years old and still have fond memories, or maybe even some collections from these games that are probably reminiscent of a card catalog of a library? They don't even make those, but do you have that stored somewhere? Do you no longer have a place to play these games, or even friends of the same age that still play such games? Well, have no fear, because now there's Gwent, the Witcher card game, open beta. Thanks to the anonymity of the internet, you don't have to be ashamed of growing into your early mid-20s and still be playing games with target audiences of tweens and teens. You know, people that despite only being like 10 years younger than you still have their whole life ahead of them while you sit in front of your computer playing games thinking, maybe if I make silver this season, that can still match your goals of going to college and being an engineer, or even a music teacher, or hell, a politician. Who knows? There's a lot of planning and preparation that doesn't need to be done yet. So now you're playing games, living in the now. And right now I can't think of a better way to live in the now than with Gwent, the Witcher card game, open beta. You might be thinking, Trombone, why not just play Hearthstone? To which I reply, shut up. The last and only time Blizzard has made a new product that brought anyone any joy was World of Warcraft. And now I know what you're saying. What about Overwatch? I rest my case. Unlike giant companies that are all about making a game just fun enough to keep those microtransactions a-rolling, like Blizzard, Riot Games, Epic Games, and Bluehole, this game comes from the developer CD Projekt Red with a K, a small company that made a game series that nerds the world over will recognize sometimes. That wasn't worried about the microtransactions, but hell, if you wanted to pay them, they'll give you something to pay for. A company reminiscent of a small Blizzard, or a small multi-billion-dollar indie company, Riot Games, or even an Epic Games that still believed in Paragon. Hashtag Paragon forever. But I think I've spent enough time talking about this fantastic developer. It's time to talk about the groundbreaking gameplay of Gwent, the Witcher card game, open beta. Unlike other online collectible card games with complex concepts such as life points and drawing cards, Gwent the Witcher card game, open beta, has one rule. Get the highest number, best 2 out of 3. While you do draw at the beginning of rounds, this entire drawing after each turn thing that's been established by traditional boring games, Gwent the Witcher card game, open beta, has determined this mechanic is a waste of time while trying to get the higher number and crush your opponent. Now at this point you might be asking, Trombone, where is the complexity and counterplay that I've come to love from other card games? At which point I make a mental note to explain things better so you don't ask questions and they're not necessary, and respond with a perfectly timed but just you wait. The nuance of this game is what brings some of the most fun interactions within the seemingly overly simplistic game. Because if this game was just you taking turns putting points on the board, quite obviously the person with the most points in the deck would win the game. So, this game has damage, where you can take away points either in a DPS sort of way or just straight up. Weather, which is the game's Russia simulator, where you can either hide behind your weather or play a scorched earth policy. And although you don't draw cards each turn, there is card draw, so you can sacrifice a round for card advantage in the next, or just make sure that you have the cards from your deck to stomp your opponent in the now. And that's just the in-game play. Being that this is a collectible card game, that means the out-of-game play is also just about limitless. You're constantly earning more, or to buy more card packs, or just scraps that you're earning, while you can craft cards to expand your collection. And although you can pay for more cards, you really can't purchase individual cards without the scraps, so the pay-to-win aspect is a lot harder to do, if not nigh on impossible. Granted, there is a way, but it's not reliable. Plus, the smarter, more practiced player usually wins. As long as you know when your cards are strong and how to counter an opponent's cards, you can win. It is easier with a larger and better collection, obviously, but it's not necessary, meaning if you want to compete with what you have, you can probably make it happen. I mean, overall, this is a fantastic game, and honestly one that's been able to steal a lot of time from me lately. If I had to give it an out of 10 rating, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10, and that's just because there's a lot of interactions that aren't 100% clear just by reading some cards, and that makes the learning curve for this game pretty freaking high. But there is a fantastic community of players behind Gwent, the Witcher card game, open beta, that helps tackle the learning curve and makes it one of the most desirable games for me to play in the past year. So it's free to play, so if you're interested, want to see what I'm talking about, feel free to check it out. I believe it's at playgwent.com. Either way, I'll have that link down in the description. But that is Gwent, the Witcher card game, open beta. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This is a game that I have been putting a lot of time into, so I just kind of wanted to make a quick review type video, but in my own style. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to drop that like. If you really liked what I got going on, feel free to drop a subscribe, you know? Yeah, why not? Leave a comment, let me know what you thought, and we'll get talking about it. In the meantime, thank you so much, and I will see you on the Rift or playing card games. And until my next video, have a good one.